This isn't your mama's methylene blue when we talk about blue, right? We're talking about something brand new, something nobody else has. And like we said, like you saw just on the video, this product is powerful, and this list, these bullet points, do not do enough. They do not justify all of the benefits of what methylene blue can do for you. We're just scratching, just barely on the surface when you're talking about methylene blue. When we talk about what it can do, we talk about Dr. Palmer in Brain Energy. One of the things I love that he said human illnesses are usually due to a problem in one of three areas, right? The development, function, or maintenance of cells. It turns out the mitochondria play a role in all these. That's a precursor for me, for one of my favorite things that methylene blue does, and it is the support at the mitochondrial level. Now, we all know that the mitochondria is what of the cell? Yes! Oh, man! The U.S. educational system is somewhat intact still, right? Because we learned that in grade school, didn't we? It's the powerhouse of the cell. Systematic low doses of methylene blue that stimulate mitochondrial respiration are safe and effective, right, from a study. So this is a great product that just goes right to the interior of the cell, right to the tens, hundreds, or thousands of mitochondria that sit in the cell. And because the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, what does it do? It helps with the process of energy creation within the cell. If there's a simple way to understand what the powerhouse of the cell is there are chain reactions that take place within the mitochondria that help produce energy. If energy is produced, the cell has resource to do what it needs to do. And that's either to make use of the nutrients that's being provided or to carry out the functions it's built for, even to replicate itself in the way it's supposed to replicate. But if it does not have the resources it needs in order to function the way it's supposed to, i.e., if it can't produce the energy required, it will say, and the cell is not biased. It doesn't care. If it can't produce the energy the cell needs, it says, okay, well, game over, we're done. And it goes through a process of saying, okay, let's have an early death to the cell. It doesn't matter to the cell. Either it has energy and it functions or it doesn't. Mitochondria in and of itself is what's called a redox agent, meaning it's going to help in the process of bringing and carrying oxygen back to the mitochondria for a chain reaction to take place so that energy is produced. Now, you didn't necessarily care for all that. The thing that's important in all of that is that methylene blue, actually the blue color, is derived when it's exposed to oxygen because it's going to bind with it and carry it. When it binds with it and carry it, it wants to give it away. And it gives it away to the mitochondria. When the mitochondria receives the oxygen, it helps it bind with the protons that are being passed through the layers of the mitochondria to create the energy reaction, right, as the electrons pass over the mitochondria in its chain reactions. Methylene blue, the key with methylene blue, again, not in just the ingredients we have, but it's also built on nanotechnology. What did we talk about yesterday? The earth versus the marble, right? We talked about not only does it lower the stress on the biological process of absorbing it and using it, but we talked about how it has massive reach, right? If you were to take the earth and unfold it, to reiterate what we talked about yesterday with poles, and we took billions and billions of marbles, when you break it down into nano size, right? When you take billions and billions of marbles and you unfold all of those, it becomes massively bigger in its reach. And where's the reach taking place? Throughout the body. Throughout the body, this reach is taking place. Their key ingredients. Methylene blue, of course, the right quality of methylene blue. But then we have our colloidals. The copper, silver, and gold are critical. They're great on their own, for their own benefit and use. But when you tie them to the blue itself, it actually has its own reaction, it has its own function. So why blue? We stand out. It stands out on its own because it reactivates oxygen, like I was saying, but the colloidals help influence blue's reactivating process, if I can say it that way. When you add red light, 660 nanometer, to methylene blue, you have an exponential boost to what's going on in the body. We already know the benefits of vasodilation and oxygen promotion throughout the circulatory system when the blood passes through the red light, the 660 nanometer. When you couple that with an agent that is looking for oxygen to pick up and deliver, they've coupled together. They're a great couple in and of themselves. And so you get a massive benefit that carries oxygen in the chain reaction at the mitochondrial level. And blue loves doing this over and over and over again because it can redox